Hey, good afternoon and welcome to the merry month of May. I'm Kevin Collins, the AE program leader here at Victor, and I'm joined by Jake. Jake, you want to say hello to everybody?
Hey guys, this is Jake Terrell. I'm the South Region Distribution Leader. I'm also work on a national basis with Kevin on the A&E team as it relates to marketing and distribution for the Design Construction Consultants program. So welcome everyone.
Absolutely. Let me join that welcome from Jake, and over the next 30 minutes or so, we'll connect back on some topics that we've talked about this year. Because if you joined us for some of our earlier webinars, our focal point's been more specifically around coverage, application, product, element, and how you as a broker to the AE industry can position yourself both from a differentiation standpoint against other brokers and really bring stronger and easier solutions to your client. So, in conversations with Jake, one element that we talked about was other things that clients are hearing from brokers or ways that we may be able to connect to that. And Jake, maybe if I could have you just kind of open up with, recent travels and conversations that you have with your brokers. What things around risk management have you kind of heard from the street that brokers are looking for or getting feedback from their clients that's creating a stronger interest?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So, as a distribution team, obviously we travel quite a bit. We meet with our brokers, and really part of our job is to find out what's happening out in the marketplace for products. Architects, engineers, obviously being a major one. When I talk with my colleagues across the spectrum, really a lot of the brokers are coming back and asking about, what's going on from trending perspective, whether it be increase in claims activity, what's happening with contracts, and really it's the trends that they're starting to see and how that applies to us as a market and what it is that we offer and can continue to offer and read and develop new moving forward as it relates to risk management for their clients, for something for them, for them to place business with us and how that is a benefit to them as a broker and a benefit to their client who's going to be our customer.
Yeah, that I know we've talked about that a few times, and that's really the reason for this webinar and conversation is maybe trying to speak to either proactively what your clients are thinking about and where you may position yourself as an expert or providing of information outside of the application or kind of premium collection placement side of the business. And what we wanted to spend a few minutes talking about for brokers representing us and clients through CNA is the availability of information that may be able to connect the dots a little bit more effectively on that piece. And where I would start is really a new publication, which is an update to a publication that we've had really since 2011 called From Risk to Profit. And if you're not aware of that study and information, then this is the webinar for you. We are updating the information right now that'll be available later this month with current information through policy year 2021, and also updating on trends and other things that we're seeing. But at a very high level, I think one of the things that you deal with as a broker is the buyer within the firm represents a lot of different people with a lot of different elements. So for some of the smaller firms, that individual just may be the owner. It could be the senior partner to the extent that it's a partnership or a collection of 3 to 5 architects or engineers around that. Or as you start to build up into larger corporations, sometimes you're talking to the financial accountant controller side of the business or somebody more focused on risk management or even in-house counsel for some of the larger firms. What this document really does effectively is it provides an attachment point and a lens, regardless of who the buyer is and the lens that they're looking at. It really is a tool to help analyze and translate the basic claims data that we're providing through the program and knowledge of being a writer of professional liability for the last 67 years into sound bites or other areas that people can use effectively. And again, it connects you to the client regardless of who you're dealing with. So for instance, if I'm working with a controller, accountant, CFO side of the business, he may be more involved as far as investment. It's like what areas of the industry within his state, infrastructure versus wastewater on the civil side, architectural side, residential versus commercial versus office buildings, schools, hospitals, etc. What's our individual experience on that, and how does it relate to areas of opportunity or areas of concern, and how do I build out a risk management plan internally to be able to drive that? If you're talking to in-house counsel, this provides an aggregation of information on a regional basis. So if the firm's looking to expand into new territories or new areas or acquire a new firm, again, this has the ability to give you a regionalized view of claims activity with a lot of specificity, but also on a national-wide basis. So it's really a core document that brokers can use to drive a baseline of information that can be viewed from a financial standpoint, a business development standpoint, or an in-house counsel risk management standpoint. So, we talked a little bit why benchmarking and claim study are important, but what I would overlay there is why this is important right now, and especially important to your clients, is we're kind of in a unique situation within the professional liability A&E world right now, where whether it was the cloud of COVID, the expansion of infrastructure, especially on the engineering side, as we went on the roads during COVID with more shovel-ready projects going forward on a quicker, more faster basis, and talking to a lot of architects and engineering firms, what they find about 2023 is it's exceedingly busy. A lot of backlog of opportunity or need around that. And when firms get busy, foundationally on risk management, if they're not strong, that's where some claims or other things can develop. So how can you as a broker provide that value and information back to the client? And that's why, again, this is a great document to start with. It provides claim studies that drills down on individual project types. It focuses on, within the project types, what were the causes of loss. So if it's a roofing system, if it's an interior wall issue, if it's civil grading, it allows you to, based on our experience, both regionally and by project type, of where we're seeing the causes of loss. So if some of those issues are more akin to items that may come up during contract administration, it would allow you to be able to focus and drive success on project managers or people that are talking to the clients or out in the field, making sure that the construction put in place is in compliance with the design documents. But so whether it's from the element of trying to get a better understanding of areas of specialty or projects that they're involved with and how they can align to our claims experience to see where the soft underbelly of causes of loss are and how can they strengthen their risk management, this is a great document to share with the client and to have a conversation as well. But most importantly, from your standpoint, every broker that I talk to has a different element of that generalist specialist vibe. I think one of the unique natures of this program, having a team of risk managers working internally here at Victor, is whether it's contract review services, whether it's informational need or content that we're producing on certain subject types, you can stay the generalist, providing all the insurance issues for that client, but dip your toe into the specialization using us as a guidance to make sure you're getting very specific information that the firm needs to be able to drive their profitability, knowledge, and success. We've seen other brokers too build their knowledge and position themselves not only as broker salesmen, but broker risk manager, providing some of that service, whether it's contract review or specified levels. In that case, we can be good partners in providing you with our experience and additional information that allows you to provide some context to the services that you're always providing. But either way, this is a core document that provides a lot of those issues around that. Because at the end of the day, it's all around profitability. If you can bring stronger elements of profitability to your firm or clients, that's going to build reputation with you and comfort level of being out ahead of the game and really, being there proactively for the clients that you work with. So I mentioned the claim side of it. I talked a little bit about the document provides both a frequency severity on a regional project basis, architects versus engineers, so that you can drill down with some granularity as to the areas of concern and impact. A secondary element of this publication as well that's of value is it's a guide that a clients can use uniformly, whether they're considering a new project and a new client that they haven't worked with, or reevaluating a current relationship with a client that they've worked on for a long period of time, but also overlaying that review with key areas that we see as strong indicators of claims activity or problems that firms can get involved with if they're not focused on that piece. And this is kind of all the different areas that this document flows through, asking questions that the firm can use to evaluate that project or going into that particular area. So not only the client, but the project, the consultants, whether or not that's dictated by the owner with limited requirements at the municipal level, or if you can self-select and you're looking from a core group of consultants that you work with all the time. How's the contractor being hired in your relationship to them along with other fiduciary parties as well? A relationship of fee to the project, your overall expertise and value, and really the last and key piece of that is the contractual requirements placed on you around that. This document, again, provides a key element of consistency that firms can use and build out a strategy regardless of whether they're evaluating current long-term relationships or trying to figure out where to expand. The other elements, so now we're moving away from that specific document into other areas of impact or success that we've seen firms both with need and that are indicators of stronger risk management practices or filling in loss control issues with firms. And that is, what we currently call it on the website is our School of Risk Management, more broadly now referred to as the Victor Risk Advisory for continuing education. So I'll talk a little bit about that. So firms within the program, much like you as a broker, can have access to our website with a specific username and password to get access to this. Clients can also do that as well. And what we've invested in is essentially a continuing education platform that has a multitude of courses related to risk management. It also overlays some more general business practice webinars that you can utilize, including some state required requirements that could be around workplace, sexual harassment, ethics, etc., that are state required around that. Our goal here is recognizing that every architect and engineer has some level of continuing education requirement to maintain licensing, is providing firms at no cost as part of the program to get access to these specialized programs and earn continuing education, and also build training and education within their staff. As you can see here, oftentimes firms will come in and look at the fact of where do I begin or how do I group this effectively. And what we've done is we've put together a suggested curriculum depending on the level of the individual you're looking to train and bring in. So if you're looking for like an EIT or a new associate type of plan, we've got a group of webinars that we think provide a basis of understanding on that. As you move up the line and you get into more of the practicing architects and engineers or firms that are more involved in project management, especially contract administration services, and then senior leadership, we have a multitude of webinars and available content that can align to those specific pieces of the puzzle. For those brokers that write firms outside of the architects and engineers realm and may be involved with surveyors or geotechnical engineers, landscape architects, etc., we also have a grouping of courses that we think specifically to that industry as well. So if you're in your marketing or positioning with a client, we're all providing that broader value to you as well. So outside of competitive cost and broad coverage, strong claims handling, and access to market-leading risk management services is another core tenet of the program. And the continuing education program available on our website provides your firms with that continuity. So at a high level, as you get into that, there's a couple things. Again, going back to the first piece of your client and who you're talking to. If you're talking to the accounting controller, CFO side of it, a lot of my conversations in those situations when I go to client visits with brokers is there's usually an expense line item around continuing education or supportive licenses and other things around that. And so this tool could also be a reduction of that expense for the firm as well, so that they can align um, that cost to another area of need and opportunity, because this is provided at no additional cost. Obviously, it can provide onboarding, additional training, continuity, a standardization of the process that protects the firm's application and brand. So as you're thinking yourself as a broker placement and trying to get more into the advisor side of it, of providing solutions, again, outside of the set renewal piece, this is a great access of information and guidance that you can give to the firm that has both the financial benefit along with a building of a strong foundation for the firm to be successful and profitable over time. Jake, I think this is the one that probably rings the bell a lot with brokers and clients around that specific attachment to premium savings, but also to saving costs, within the firm. The I think it's really two elements here that I want to kind of highlight to you. $2,300 is essentially just kind of looking peer review wise at others that provide these services or other elements. That's kind of a benchmark that we see when you're talking to the firm about what they may be able to save per hour, including travel related expenses or other things to be able to go to the continuing education sessions. But the other piece too is attendance or participation in our online platform and continuing education. In many of our states, this is something that we filed over the last 2 years. So it's not available in every state, but currently available in about 46 of the 50 states, including the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. If the firm's revenues are under $5 million, that program is filed with the ability to recognize a risk management credit, one of which is a component of in-house strategies. So whether that's written contracts, whether that's constructability reviews, whether that's a standard process of reviewing RFIs, et cetera. It's things that your firms are doing internally that we think drive for better claims handling and defensive claims and may prevent claims over time. There's a component of credit related to that, and then the other side of it is what we're talking about here, which is participation in and completion by more than half the professional staff of the continuing education session in the policy year. So obviously you can have a conversation with your clients about it. We have more information here at Victor that we can get into the weeds a little bit to talk through that. But this also provides a transition of conversation as you're getting into the renewal process or completing the application of the value of those risk management questions and how it may be able to impact favorably in a premium savings to the firm. And again, long-term savings is really the key, because what that means is time, reputational risk, or other things can be minimized. And the fact that they're not having claims, they can just focus on the work, the services, and delivering good solutions to their clients. So next steps. One is that following this meeting, you'll get obviously a copy of the slides and information provided. But the document that I talked about, the managing risk to profit, and the update of that information is being finalized now. Then that'll update for claims program information and trends that we're seeing with claims information through 2021. That'll be available externally at the end of May. And I would just urge folks to take a few pieces, take a step out. If you have clients that are prospects for the professional liability coverage, and you find that getting them around the idea of cost or what it's covering, et cetera, I would say go to our website. If you don't have access into our website now, just go to the website and you can apply for and get a distinct username and password so that you can get access to that background information. And the easiest piece may be one of the tens of claims examples that we have around project type of firm, and different situations that would help contextualize the risks that your prospect may face to help complete that discussion and sail around that. For your current clients, depending on who you're talking to, again, I think the Farista Profit is a great source document to review, share with your clients proactively, and provide them some context of either a standard evaluation of projects and clients, gathering information on a regional basis, a project area maybe they're looking to expand into, or a project area that they're heavily involved with, and where they should be focused or concerned about for how other people are seeing claims. Or again, more broadly in the services, whether it's continuing education or other information that's available. We have a lot on there. It's just a matter of determining what questions come up around that. So again, whether you're a generalist, whether you're a specialist, and how you position the value that you're bringing to the clients every day. With current claims environment in this area, it's a perfect time to reestablish, enhance, or solidify your risk management guidance to firms proactively as we try to weather through some of the challenges in the near term, and then again, give your clients strong foundation and benefit over the long term, including profitability. Jake, just one more question to you on the kind of on the broker side as we're talking through that. As far as connectivity, like if they have questions around other products or questions about getting access to the website, or just want to have a conversation about products or services that we can provide, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you or their other distribution manager within their territory?
Yeah, so if they're not familiar with who is the distribution manager for the state that the broker actually resides in, they can go to our website, and on the homepage at the top, there's different blocks. One of them is broker resources. And under that broker resources is regional marketing contacts. And if you click on that, it'll bring up everybody on the distribution team and the associated state that they manage from a day-to-day perspective. And so you would call them not based on where the risk is, but based on where the broker actually resides. So whatever state you reside in is how we manage the distribution side of it. So they can reach out to anybody that manages their state, and all of us will be able to speak about all the other products, any cross sell, whether it be cyber or our new Victor Small business that has some BOP and GL capabilities that maybe they could round out or cross sell some of their clients with us.
Great, thanks, Jake. And through the beauty of technology too, as Jake was talking, we were able to post in the chat feature too a link to finding your distribution manager within that territory. So that was kind of the lead in. That as we're concluding or leading this session, if you don't have access into the website right now, but are interested in kind of talking through the opportunity or other things that Victor operates, please click on that link, find your distribution manager for your territory. Feel free to give them a call, reach out by email, and make sure you're up to speed on everything that we can provide. And again, you can go to the website directly to be able to get a new login or password information to be able to get access and pass that through to your clients. And for those that already have it, again, please take a moment as we approach the holiday weekend here to see if you can connect the dots with your clients or solve some questions that your clients may have, and build it into your process or reinforce that with the process that you already have. So with that, I will say farewell. Jake, thank you very much for your time as well. Thanks everybody for attending. We look forward to continuing the conversations as we get through the year and helping you to connect successfully with your clients and grow the business. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, everyone.